Most of those stories usually end with the bloody climax of, say, Bonnie and Clyde, or in Badlands they get arrested. And I was really interested in taking things a little bit past that, seeing what happens after they have failed to go down in a blaze of glory, and what happens when they have to live on and deal with the consequences of their actions. They certainly had amazing chemistry together, but the context was there, and it certainly went above and beyond what was on the page, what we created on set, because they brought so much to it. But that was definitely the plan from the beginning. It was like, we're going to put them in this scene at the beginning, and we're going to put them in a scene at the end, and in the middle, you're going to feel that tension of wanting to see them get back together. The in-between moments are more interesting. And so when it comes to the action, I'm always more interested in the consequence, or the before and after, everything that leads up to it and everything that comes after, rather than the event itself. I'm more interested in seeing how people got to the point and what they do afterwards.
Which is what he said to me when we first met. He said, there'll be no dialogue and no action. I said, sign me up. Little spider there.
I set it in Texas for a reason, partially because I live there and I love the state, but also there's a larger-than-life quality to that state, and a sense of independence and rebellion that's sort of implicit with the culture there.
We had a hard time with the accents, but that they brought a coach in to work with her a little bit.
It's an easy accent because, we're American, we hear that all the time.
But you struggled with it.
No. You struggled with it, especially in your voiceover.
Every time I show it to an audience, it feels like I'm showing it for the first time, so I'm completely nervous, and the movie goes by in a blink of an eye because I'm just so, overwhelmed with the entire experience. And so it wasn't until I realized that people were clapping at the end that I realized, okay, I think this works. This works again.
Generally, good material finds an audience. I think that has a kind of narrow, maybe it has a more narrow appeal than some of more mainstream fare. And
Yep.
I think there's a lot to like about it. I mean, I can imagine my mother liking it, and I can imagine
my mom as well,
my son watching it.
I didn't set out to make a film that would exclude anyone. It's not trying to, dazzle people with explosions, but I think it's entertaining, and I think that people will respond to it, and it's all about getting it out to the audiences, and that's the next step of this journey is making sure people get a chance to see it.
Do they applaud politely, or is it enthusiastic? I've heard that they'll let you know if they don't like a film, that they'll either not applaud or they will stand up.
Yeah.
Is that
they'll
true?
they'll boo, or they will leave the theater, and you'll hear
Really?
the chairs clap up. Yeah, that happened with Lars von Trier often in his films.
Really?
Here.
Is that with movies, though, that are more controversial, and that's why they're booing, and they're because they're angry? Not that they're like, oh, this movie sucks, but they're angry about it?
Yeah, angry about it, or it's usually films that are quite extreme, violent or whatever, or films that are too mainstream often get booed here.
Interesting. Well, I think I didn't hear any seats clapping.
So we're neither mainstream nor